Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sat down for a lengthy interview with CBS's 60 Minutes. And during the course of that discussion, some interesting topics came up, namely, whether or not Israel is ever gonna stop suckling at the teat of the American taxpayer. And here's what Netanyahu lied about. He said, oh, totally. I really wanna wean Israel off of America's money. I don't believe it at all. Let me give you his exact statement, we'll discuss it. So he says, quote, I wanna draw down to zero the American financial support, the financial component of the military cooperation that we have, because we receive $3.8 billion a year. I think that it's time that we weaned ourselves from the remaining military support and go from aid to partnership. So I want to draw down, and I want to suggest projects, joint projects for intel, no thank you, for weapons, for missile defense. Israel, I think, is a leader in this in the world. Many countries come to us for it, doubt it. Okay, I don't believe him. Especially since he was trying to get the United States to sign on to a 20-year MOU, which is again the yearly, military aid package that we give to Israel. Usually it lasts about a decade. He wanted to multiply that and make it 20 years instead.
Yeah, so it's not a question of whether you believe him, because we're gonna show you that he told you that we're not going to end it. We'll get to that in a second. But first, he's saying in that part of the clip, give me all of your military support. So, we'll wean off the 3.8 billion, but I'm still gonna demand all of your intelligence, all of your military. If I ever wanna attack anyone, you have to give me everything I want. You have to give me defensive missiles for Iron Dome. You have to give me this, this, and this. So already right there, reporting it like Israel doesn't want anything more is 100% incorrect. And in fact, that's why I'm most angry at the media, but wait till you get to the second part. So, okay, great, you wanna end Israel's funding. We're doing notanother.com. We couldn't agree more. So you want to end it right now, right? No. So let me go to the next quote. He said, I said, let's start now and do it over the next decade, over the next 10 years. But I want to start now.
What is?
Okay, so wait, are we ending it now or are we going another 10 years? Let me repeat. He said, over the next 10 years.
He thinks we're stupid, but he's gonna start now.
No, but
we're gonna start now.
He doesn't.
But over the next 10 years.
So does he think that the American people are stupid? Of course, that's why he's been bribing our politicians, our media, our pastors, everyone else to manipulate us and trick us into supporting Israel. That's definitely true. But there's a second component to it. He knows that Israel owns our national media, that all of the headlines will be, Israel doesn't want any more money. Israel's so generous and wonderful. Netanyahu says we're not asking for any more money. They're so great. And that's exactly what happened today. Every headline makes it seem like Israel is being so generous to us. First of all, we don't owe them any money. Everyone in mainstream media is like, instead of asking us for money for 200 years, which we obviously owe them, they're only asked for 10 more years. They're so wonderful. No, they're not. We don't owe them a single day more or a single dollar more. And you're all celebrating that our overlord, our master, has said you will only be chained to them for another 10 years. But most importantly, Anna, this is such an obvious trick. He's worried that they're gonna lose everything in 2028 when a presidential candidate wins that is not in favor of Israel. The memorandum of understanding lasts 10 years, which they shouldn't have never had anyway, of unconditional aid, which is mental, right? And so he's like, we can't wait till 2028, so we need to sign another 10-year deal now. How do I get another 10 years? By pretending I'm not going to ask for any more money. And I know that the media works for me, so they will all lie on my behalf and pretend I'm being generous when I'm asking to rob the American people for another 10 years, which none of them want.
So apparently Trump is calling for unity after another violent incident. But the way this gets covered depends on who's trying to spin it and who's willing to call it out.
On the right, the framing turns Trump into some kind of heroic victim, a uniquely important figure being targeted because he's just that powerful. On the left, the focus is on Trump's long, obvious relationship with violent rhetoric and the political climate he helped create. Same event, completely different narrative. And that is exactly why I recommend Ground News. It's a website and app that pulls together reporting from across the political spectrum so you can compare headlines side by side, see the bias distribution of the coverage, check the factuality ratings of the sources, and even see who owns the outlets behind the reporting. Because once you start looking at coverage that way, it becomes a lot easier to see when the media isn't informing you, it's managing your perception. Ground News also has a blind spot feed, which highlights stories that one side of the political spectrum is barely covering at all, so you're not trapped inside the version of events your media bubble wants you to accept. If you're tired of being fed somebody else's narrative, I genuinely recommend Ground News. Go to ground.news/TYT or scan the QR code to get 40% off Ground News Vantage Plan.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.